I'm Dr. Atherton and I'm Head of English at Spalding Grammar School. In the department, we offer two separate A-levels. We offer A-level English Language and A-level English Literature. In this film, I'll be talking about both of those subjects, what makes them different, but also why you should consider them as an A-level student. I think English literature is something that I've always been interested in. Even as a child, I was always absorbed in books. I always had my head in a book somewhere. And I think that's grown, that grew certainly during my time as a student myself. And teaching English, I think, is a way of engaging students with the way that people have thought and written about the world we live in and about the existence that they are experiencing. It's a way of engaging students with this debate about the world that we live in, and the way that people see that world, the way that people view their experiences. I think English is a subject that is incredibly important. It's a subject whose importance we sometimes lose sight of. We tend to think that everybody can read, everybody can speak, everybody can write, and therefore why study English at A-level? I think, though, that means that we lose sight of the fact that English at A-level, whether it's English language or English literature, teaches us to think very carefully about the way we use words. In English language, that might be the way that politicians use language to persuade us to vote for them, the way that advertisers use language to manipulate us and get us to buy their products. Or it could be, in English literature, the way that Shakespeare conveys the experience of a man who has lost everything he ever stood for, a man whose existence is crumbling around him. At this school in particular, at Spalding Grammar School, the English department is made up of 6 specialists, 6 people who are very experienced, very committed to the study of English. You'd be taught by people who are passionate readers, people who are absorbed in the world of literature themselves, people who are very, very interested in language, people with a keen interest in human communication in all its varied forms. And that's something that's absolutely crucial to the study of English at A-level. We're all people who believe very firmly that English at A-level isn't a subject that you can leave in the classroom. It's not a subject that you turn up for lessons and then do your homework, do your prep, and then forget about. It's something that has to occupy your mind almost every waking moment. It's something that you can be thinking about whenever you read, whenever you talk to somebody, whenever you listen into somebody else's conversation. And that's something that we're keen to make students aware of, that as students of English, you need to be interested in people as well as interested in the written word. Something else that we try to do at Spalding is to make every student's experience of the subject different. Every time we teach English A-level, we have a different group of students in front of us, and their experiences of the subject, their experiences of the world, are going to be new. Every time I've taught English at A-level, and I've been teaching for over 25 years now, the subject has been different. The subject has varied because we try to think about the interests and experiences of the students that we have in front of us, rather than teaching the course in the same way year in, year out. Obviously, with English literature, we might be studying different texts. We might be interpreting those texts in different ways. But with English language, we also have to think about the fact that language changes. We are using words now that we wouldn't have used 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. We're also coming up against new interpretations of topics in the course, such as whether men and women use language in different ways, whether children learn language in a particular way. And therefore, we try to stay very much up to date. We try to keep on top of those different theories and interpretations. And that's something that keeps our experience of the subject very fresh and enables us to convey those passions to our students. It's a question that we're often asked because I think parents are sometimes concerned about which directions English can lead you into. I remember as an A-level student myself, I was often asked, well, what can you actually do with English? You can be an English teacher or you can be a librarian. And I would always say, well, no, there are loads of things you could do. And yet here I am as an English teacher. However, I have to say that English at A-level, whether that's language or literature, is probably one of the most versatile subjects in that it combines well with a range of other subjects, and it can take you in a huge range of directions afterwards, whether that's at degree level or straight into a career. We often find people with English A-level going into quite conventional careers such as journalism or careers in the media or publishing. However, English can also take you in some unexpected directions. It could take you into law, into politics. We've got plenty of people who've taken English language at A-level and gone into careers in business, in marketing, in management. Often careers such as speech therapy or social work as well, especially with English language at A-level, because that does have those direct links with the way that language works, the way that people learn to talk and learn to communicate. So there aren't really any limits as to where English can take you. It's a subject that encourages you to communicate clearly, to construct very structured lines of argument, and therefore those are always going to be skills that employers will want: the ability to speak clearly, to communicate clearly in writing, and to read very carefully, reading between the lines. People often wonder about the difference between English language and English literature at A-level. English literature will seem to you to be very familiar from GCSE. We still study novels, plays and poetry, but we focus on the study of two genres. We look at tragedy and we look at social and political protest writing. So we explore the ways in which writers throughout history have used their works to protest about the world that we live in and to make a case for a different kind of world, a better world, a fairer world. English language will seem to you to be very different because we look at language not just in terms of looking at written text, but we also look at the way that language works within the world. We look, for instance, at accents and dialects and how they reflect something about our identity. We look at the way that language changes over time. And we look at issues like the way that children learn to speak, this great skill that you accomplish in the first 5 years of your life, probably the most important thing you'll ever do. I think in terms of the kinds of people we would want to be thinking about English at A-level, to do English literature, you need to be a really keen reader. We do want people to have a real love of books. And to do English language, you need to be very interested in people and the way they communicate. We also think in English language, you need to be a little bit nosy. You need to be the kind of person who likes listening into other people's conversations and thinking about the words they use and the way that they interact. So people who are interested in the written world and people who are interested in what makes people tick, they're the kind of people we're looking for.